That video rewatch session with Gaten Matarazzo and Finn Wolfhard is a perfect example of why fans love the Stranger Things cast. They sat down to revisit the unforgettable Season 2 moment where Eleven finally returns to the group. This scene is huge for fans, as it was the highly emotional reunion everyone had waited for after she disappeared in the first season. Watching the clip back, the boys shared fun, honest, and nostalgic commentary, proving that the bond between the party is just as strong off-screen as it is on-screen. The most hilarious part of the rewatch centered on the famous candlestick incident. As the emotional scene played, the tension was high as the kids prepared to fight the Demodogs. Finn Wolfhard's character, Mike Wheeler, stood ready with a small, brass candlestick he was using as a weapon. Finn revealed that he had asked the crew for any weapon, and someone simply handed him the closest available item, the candlestick. Gaten, who plays Dustin, couldn't stop laughing, calling it Finn's stupid-ass candlestick, and joking that Mike looked like he was preparing for a dinner party, not a monster fight. Despite the comedy of the makeshift weapon, the moment the actors paused the clip for was truly heartfelt. When Millie Bobby Brown's character, Eleven, opens the door, Mike's face shifts from determined fighter to completely stunned and relieved friend. Finn noted that in that moment, the candlestick was completely forgotten. For Mike, seeing Eleven alive was everything he had hoped for since she vanished. The reunion, Finn explained, was a moment of pure, happy relief that went far beyond fighting monsters, symbolizing the emotional turning point of the entire season. The candlestick has become a huge running joke among the cast. Finn recalled that for weeks after filming, anytime he picked up a random item on set, his co-stars would yell out jokes about the weapon. This fun detail shows how even the smallest, unintended moments in a show can become iconic and create lasting inside jokes. The rewatch video is a great reminder that the magic of Stranger Things comes not just from the monsters and the drama, but from the deep, genuine connection and humor shared by the cast who literally grew up making the show together. The emotional weight of the scene they rewatched goes beyond just the kids getting back together. In the clip, Mike Wheeler, Finn, finally sees Eleven, Millie Bobby Brown, alive after thinking she was gone. This reunion is the central emotional pillar of Season 2. Gaten noted that even years later, watching the scene gives him chills because of how important it was for the entire story. It was the moment the writers, the Duffer Brothers, showed the audience that hope was back, and the characters finally had their best chance to fight the danger facing Hawkins. For the actors, who hadn't filmed much together earlier that season, seeing Millie walk in made the emotions feel very real on set. Friendship off-screen. The genuine laughter and teasing about the candlestick highlight the real-life bond between the cast. Gaten and Finn have essentially grown up together while making Stranger Things, starting as young kids and becoming young adults on the same set. This shared history means they don't just remember the big, dramatic scenes. They remember the silly, improvised details that happened between takes. Finn mentioned that he and Gaten were often talking and laughing between scenes, showing that their chemistry as friends is just as strong as their chemistry as Dustin and Mike. This long-term friendship is why fans are so invested. They are watching a real group of friends make an incredible show. The infamous candlestick moment also speaks to the playful, quick decisions that happen in TV production. Finn confirmed he asked for something to use as a weapon, and the prop team gave him the candlestick right off the table. This detail reminds us that sometimes, the most memorable parts of a scene are the ones that were slightly unexpected. It shows the freedom the young actors had to contribute to their characters, even if it meant Mike Wheeler had to face a terrifying monster with a piece of dining room decor. It's an example of how their commitment, combined with a little bit of on-the-spot improvisation, created an iconic piece of Stranger Things lore. This rewatch is especially touching for the cast and fans because the show is nearing its end. Revisiting these early moments, like the emotional Season 2 reunion, brings back strong memories of where the characters started. The video is a wonderful piece of nostalgia that celebrates the journey. By rewatching, Gaten and Finn are showing fans how much the show means to them, and how thankful they are for the whole experience, from the emotional highs of Eleven's return to the ridiculous, lasting memory of the candlestick. It's a way for them to say thank you to the fans who have made their silly, improvised moments famous worldwide. The sheer absurdity of the candlestick being Mike's weapon of choice is what makes it so brilliant and memorable. If Mike had been given a baseball bat or a proper gun, the scene would have been just a standard action moment. But because he grabs this small, fancy piece of brass, it instantly adds a layer of unexpected comedy and realism. It perfectly captures the spirit of the party. They are just ordinary kids, using whatever they can find in a real house to fight otherworldly monsters. The fact that Finn, Gaten, and the fans still laugh about it years later shows how those little, improvised moments often become the soul of a show. Beyond the laughs, the clip they rewatched is crucial for understanding the relationship between Mike and Eleven. Before this moment, Mike had been desperately clinging to the hope that Elle was still out there. When she finally walks through that door, it's a moment of deep, personal relief that closes a very painful chapter for his character. Finn's acting, the way his face changes from defensive to stunned to overjoyed, shows the massive impact Eleven has on Mike's life. Gaten's commentary acknowledges this, recognizing that this connection between Mike and Elle is the true heart of the whole Stranger Things story. It's worth noting that Gaten, who plays Dustin, called the episode featuring this reunion one of his all-time favorite Stranger Things episodes. This isn't just because of the action. It's because it brings the core group back together after they've been separated. Dustin, in particular, always focuses on the group staying united. The moment Eleven shows up to protect them and join the fight in the Byers' house is the ultimate fulfillment of that hope. For Gaten, watching it back meant celebrating a time when all the main young heroes finally felt whole again, ready to face anything as a team. The Rewatch video gives fans a valuable peek behind the curtain of a major Hollywood production. We often see the final, polished scenes on Netflix, but we rarely hear the stories of the decisions made in the moment. Finn sharing the story of just being handed the candlestick reveals that even on a show as huge as Stranger Things, things can be chaotic and fun. These unscripted, human moments make the stars more relatable and show that the atmosphere on set is still friendly and focused on play, even when they are filming intense drama. This kind of casual, honest content is exactly why the YouTube video was so successful with fans. One element that Gaten and Finn likely appreciate when rewatching this scene is the power of silence.